Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Stahls TV Morning Show.
Good morning.
I'm Jenna, this is Brandy, and we have an awesome topic planned for you guys today. And it's been 2 weeks since we've been on the morning show.
I've missed it.
Yeah, so usually we go every other week, right? So we at least see you then, but we did have some company last week, so we weren't able to use this studio, but we're going to be back on schedule as planned, so we wanted to go live with you this week. Just know we are a little bit off schedule, so we'll still have a live class this Thursday, and then we'll go back to our regular schedule next week. All right, so our topic today is all on placement with heat printing. All right, so I see some people commenting in. Hi, Mike. Thanks for joining us. Feel free to comment in and let us know that you are joining us, where you're joining from. We're always interested in seeing where everybody is located. All right, so tell us about our topic today.
Okay, so our topic today is something that we all question sometimes when we're working with some placement. And our topic is the design placement and design size, and of course, all of those different heat printing areas that we can accommodate our customers with, because heat printing is so versatile.
Right. So that's something that we talk about often, is how versatile a heat print technology really is.
Right.
And there are a lot of tips and tricks out there, and we've tried to kind of put them all together so that it makes a lot of sense in a heat printing guide. So we're going to be reviewing this today and letting you know where you can source this so that you can utilize it where you're heat printing. But before we do that, we do have some announcements. All right, so the first announcement is really exciting, especially for those of you that are ordering with us and are now currently doing a 3-day ship. All right, so this is eligible for those of you that are a 3-day ship from our warehouses, and you're ordering materials or custom products like Any Word, Any Way, or digital logos, anything like that. All right, so the news is you can get a 2-day ship for a flat rate of $12. All right, so it'll be a flat rate, $12 shipping every time you order, but that will get you into that 2-day range. So for those of you that are 3-day shippers, you can now get a 2-day ship. So that's states like North and South Dakota, all the way down to Florida. Some parts of Texas, that whole little loop there, that's a 3-day ship. So just keep that in mind next time you go to order, that there is a 2-day option now, which is really, really exciting.
Yeah, that's good.
Now we have Look of the Week, our other exciting announcement. So every Saturday we do a show and tell that is on our Facebook page, and this was submitted by Stacy. All right, so Stacy, I love this look because it fits a lot with our topic today for the split front there. So this is a really fun look, and I love that she did it for a cheerleading squad. So typically you don't see split front jerseys used for cheerleading, so I really love that she mixed it up like that. And I just love the 2 color there.
I do too. I like that the font was a little bit of a script, has a tail. You have that cheer that's in the tail.
Like punched through.
Yeah, I really like the whole entire graphic. She really pulled it off. Good job, Stacy. It looks great.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so next we have is Daryl. He submitted this over the weekend as well on our Facebook page, and I am loving how this logo turned out in our new Flex Style product.
Yes, I really like that he played on the texture and the dome style. So you have a metallic silver, and then that really pops out, kind of like, with that 3D effect that.
And it goes really nice with the hat.
It looks great with the hat.
Yeah, I feel like those were the perfect combination to really create an eye-catching look with the Flex Style. Yeah. And that's something we always talk about with Flex Style, is how to utilize it in the best way possible, because it is such a game-changing product for people's logos.
Oh, yeah. Right? I mean, the texture, the detail, the unlimited amount of colors, it's just perfect. So great job on that hat and creating that logo. If any of you are interested in the Flex Style, you kind of want to get it into your shop, into your customers' hands, so they can kind of look and feel it. We do have a new sample pack of the Flex Style. It offers all of the different types that we have, which is the Deco, the Dome X, the Deco X, and the Texture X. So
it's now called
Adhesive.
Texture X
It's now
instead
called
of
Texture
Deco.
X instead of Deco X.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry about that. But you get all of those variables of the emblem, and then you get it in the pressure sensitive, and you get it in the heat transfer. Plus, you get that little pad, which is a $25 or $20 value, anyways.
Yeah, so actually the pad itself, if you were purchasing that separately, it is $20. And the pad, whenever you talk about that, it's a specific cover sheet that you actually have to use with
magic.
the Flex Style. It is magic.
It is.
But you have to use it because of that dome effect that comes on that transfer so that it's not melting when it's hit with the heat press.
Yeah.
So that pad actually comes in that Flex Style starter kit. So we're always recommending that our customers, whenever they want to get started with Flex Style, and show it to their customers so that they can, gain prospects and customers for it. That's the best way to go for sure.
Absolutely, and that's under the services tab.
Yeah, of our website. Yep, make sure you check that out. All right, and then our next announcement is our next Workshop Wednesday. So if you've been doing our workshops at our locations, we have another one coming up next month. We just had one last week. It was very successful. It was Artwork 101 and 201, and we had it here in the PA location for that one. But we try to host them at most of our locations, and the next one is the July 17th. All right, so that is the next Workshop Wednesday, where we're going to be talking about new trends in the industry, what's hot in apparel, and how you can print some of those pieces of apparel, because some of them can be hard to work with because how those substrates are staying innovative and they're becoming more heat sensitive. So how you can actually utilize those with the heat press, and then different transfer types out there that you can use that are game-changing in the industry. Some new stuff that you haven't seen before that we're really excited to show. And then we'll also be going over placements.
Of course.
Right, so, and that's really what today's topic is about, is placements in unique areas of a garment that you can utilize for more profit opportunity.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about, being able to personalize just all of those different areas, whether you're showing your customer what you can do or maybe what they're asking you to do.
Right.
You can make it happen.
And you had mentioned earlier, whenever we were just kind of discussing today's topic, that, what your customers are seeing in retail is what they're expecting you to be able to produce for them. So we have some great tips and tricks that we're going to share today that are going to help you with heat printing those areas that can be hard to do with other types of technology. Not only because it's hard to get it positioned right if you're maybe doing direct to garment or you're trying to hoop an item. Yeah. It can become difficult. So how heat printing can either be a great addition to what technology you're already using to decorate, and then just some other things or maybe it's your main thing,
Yeah.
All right. So really what we want to discuss first is the placement guide, and why this is going to be a very important piece of information for you and your heat printing shop.
And it's a great training tool. So if you have people in your shop that are heat printing and working your heat presses, this is great to have available to them to maintain that consistency that your customers are expecting.
Right, so I do see some comments coming in. Denise asked where we can get that sample pack. Just don't want to get too lost in those comments there, so I'm going to jump back real quick. The Flex Style Starter Kit is available on our Facebook, or no, I'm sorry, not our Facebook. Our website. All right, so Stahls.com, and that is under the Services tab, so you can find that there.
Yeah, the middle tab, and then it will just kind of open up and it will say Flex Style Sample Kit.
All right, this is available on our blog. All right, so you can download this. It's a free download. You just go to Stahls.com, click the link to the blog. You'll have to sign in with your account information, so typically how you go to place an order. But this is how you can get this download. You can print it out for a hard copy or just save it onto your computer whenever you need a quick tip on where your placements should be. All All right, so there's the main thing is, there's your traditional placements where you have your full front, all right, so that's listed right here, all right, then you have your center front, and then it just kind of goes across the board, center chest, left chest, right chest, all those different placements that you can achieve on a t-shirt. All right, so that's the key thing. We're doing it on a t-shirt, and then we're talking about other popular items and placements and sizing for each of those. So not only can you get the dimensions for the t-shirts, but also other popular items like your t-shirts.
Right.
T-shirts, I just said
It
t-shirts.
has the
your jackets,
right.
sweatshirts.
It has the polos, it has
and even has
baseball,
bags
softball,
on there.
Jackets, gloves, hats. So yeah, this placement guide is really just a great tool to have at your fingertips.
Absolutely. All right, so whenever we talk about all of these placements in here, all the traditional ones are in there. So even if you're not a heat printer, maybe you're screen printing, direct to garment, embroidery, sublimation. I can go on and on about all the different technologies, but it's going to hit across the board there because all your traditional placements are there.
They're the same.
Then we also have unique placements, and that's where we're going to try to focus our topic today because that's going to build more profit opportunity for us as heat printers because that technology makes getting those unique placements so easy because you can load them differently onto a heat press machine by using different accessories like platens, pillows, pads, and all the works. All right, so some of those non-traditional placements I'm going to go over that just add a little more to a garment. So this is a prime example. So you can see there's no traditional placement on this except for the side we have a placement. So we did black glitter piping and then we dropped the school name right on that bottom hemline, all right? So this is very unique, but very trendy, right? This is stuff we're seeing in retail, and this was very easy to do because we could just load this right onto a 16 by 20 platen and heat press right over that seam by using a pillow, right? So all those different accessories used to your ability so that you can print unique stuff like this.
And this is something that you could have, in your shop or in your store and then offer that personalization for the name or whatever. So it's a really nice garment.
Right? The next one we have with a traditional placement and then a unique placement, all right? So this jacket, you can see that it has those reflective accents on it already. So we really wanted to play on that with what product we used. So we went with the color reflective for this left chest logo there. But one thing we did to add an additional placement for this business's name, Infinity, we added it to the hood. So there was unique seams that were on this hood, which made it retail ready already. Because it's very unique. It's not something you typically see on a hood is that double seam there. Seeing it more and more now because it's becoming more popular, but we wanted to play on that and put that logo there. And we were able to do that by using the accessories with a platen. So actually what we did was use the 6x10 for this, loaded it on 2 different ways so that we could print the first half and then did the second half. All right, so this was actually very easy to achieve, only took a couple minutes to heat apply it. All right, so just keep in mind, this is a really unique one that's not even listed on the placement guide. All right, so really, we want to just think outside the box when it comes to different placements we can utilize to add more profit to one piece of apparel.
Exactly.
Right? What's something that our customers are going to love that they'll be willing to pay a lot more for? All right. Oops. All right, so our next one, and this is a really nice garment. This is a soy boot garment. It's actually a poly spandex, and it has a lot of really nice open mesh areas on here. You can see that on the hood. Maybe. There's open mesh there, I promise. But we really wanted to keep this simple because it's already a really nice jacket. We didn't want to put a very bold placement on there unless our customer obviously wanted that. But a unique placement we did was the back hemline, right? So you can see that little yoga logo there that was used there in our metallic. And it's instead of the front hem, right, that we typically see, we did the back, which is a really unique placement. right? And again,
Nice
so
idea.
simple to use by just loading on those platens and heat applying. Okay. So those are 3 really good examples. So we had 2 zip-up jackets, one with a really cool hood placement, one with a back seam, and then one using the side seam. All right, so those are 3 really unique placements that we were able to use. Right, now for t-shirts, all right, t-shirts are probably the most common request as an apparel decorator.
And most commonly decorated.
Yeah, absolutely. So no design placements traditionally on here, nothing on the front, nothing on the back, but we utilized the sleeves, right? So being able to drop custom prints all the way around this sleeve, I just love this look.
I like it too, because usually when you see the sleeve, it's just, you know, it's just kind of like
One
a
little
patch.
spot,
Yes,
yeah.
and I like how it wraps
Right.
around, and that's something easily accomplished with heat printing and the different, you know, platens and things. So
Right.
that's really cool. I like that a lot.
And then for a long sleeve, we also did the long sleeve placement with our 6x20 platen. So typically whenever you're seeing raglan type Henleys like this where there's buttons or maybe even a quarter zip, that's usually a right or left chest placement, which could totally still be utilized. But because we're printing that extra piece, right, whenever you're working with raglans, it's nice to be able to utilize the sleeves because they're color blocked out. They don't match the solid piece of the garment, like the body of the garment, like this heather gray here. So being able to use that contrasting color on there, like we did the metallic silver on this purple sleeve so that it's still matched, but it looks really unique and cool. It has a nice effect.
Yeah, I like that. And a lot of, even like the sports teams, the softball and the baseball, they're either practicing in raglans or they're just ordering them for, you know, complementary items with their uniforms. So they're really popular in the youth sports.
Right, and then this one also utilizes a traditional placement and also a unique placement, which is that low hemline for personalization. All right, so this is the ideal type of application you would use for upselling. We have the traditional placement where a soccer mom would purchase this to wear to a game, but for $10, you can add a 2-color personalization with hologram and glitter flake and get the number of the player on there, or even use it on the back, right? So we decided to do this placement because it's very unique. Typically, numbers go on the back of a shirt, but we utilized a different part of the garment so that they wanted to purchase because it's more eye-catching because it's all on the front of the shirt.
Yeah, and when you said eye-catching, that's exactly right, because you're used to seeing certain things, it doesn't catch your eye, but when you see something different, your brain is like, what is that? And it does a double take,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
Because it's different.
Right, so unique placements is it. Being able to utilize that and offer that to your customers so it's something different and something they're going to be willing to pay more for. You get into the traditional placements, those are the most requested, but even being able to hang up samples and show, you know, here's some other options that you can get. And that brings us right to this lovely garment right here. All right, so this garment has all of the unique placements that you can get on a basic t-shirt. All right, these are all of your traditional ones with the exception of the vertical placement, which is really popular. And I'm actually hiding another piece, so I'm gonna get up and move. All right, the hip placements there, and then the back is completely decorated with other areas of the garment. All right, so being even able to hang something like this in your shop so that they can see all of the different placements that they can get and kind of visualize where they want their logo placed or their personalization at. All right, so I would even take it a little step further and add some on the sleeve and other unique areas like a wraparound print maybe, which is actually what we did in a video for Quick Flip Apparel and all the places that you could print their hoodies. Right, so we did a wraparound print. We were able to do that. Just a little addition, we do have a QR code that we're going to share later so that you can get this transfer. All right, but stick around because we're going to be popping that up at the end so that you can get the transfer for this heat printed shirt so that you can show it in your shop and your customers can utilize that to see where they want their logo placed.
It's great to have if you're talking to them virtually, whether it's texting or email, you can even send that and they can get a little bit of a visual, and that way there's no room for error when they're like, yeah, I want the full front, the medium front, the center front. So it, it would help with that too.
Right, so we have a comment regarding racer back tanks. Okay. And placement for those, which can be tricky because it really depends on how thin the straps are on the tank, how low the collar drops, and how far in the racer part actually goes in the back of the tank top. So thank you for commenting that, Francisco. That is something that we should definitely add to the placement guide because it is a very popular garment. So we're going to make note of that and try to add that into our placement guide because we're here to help. And we want to be able to help, so we need a racer back in there. Okay. So. All right, so thanks, Francisco. Denise asked, what brand is the raglan? That is Pennant Sportswear. And she also asked, does Stahls carry different color reflective material? So yes, we have an entire line of color reflective. There's about 8 colors now, so it's fairly new. We only added 8 just to get it launched, but we'll be adding more as we go.
I hope so, yeah. Blue, pink, orange, just to name a few.
Yellow, those green. Let's name all the colors in the rainbow. All right, so Joe asked, what about the side right front of the reflective? Wait, which one? This one? Okay. So oh, up here maybe? Yeah, so that's definitely something that can be achieved as well. So all the different accessories that you can use, the pillows and pads, are really going to help to raise these areas so that the hardware like this pull and all these zippers and different seams can fall off and you can really isolate one area. And we'll show you that here shortly. We're actually going to be demoing some of those accessories so you can get an idea of all the unique placements that you can get.
And our Print Perfect pads, you can cut them to size if you need to.
Right.
So if you need something custom for what you're doing, like that little spot there, that's something that you can do out of one of our Print Perfect pads. Just cut it.
All right, so we've been talking about all of these tools for success that you can utilize. So I'm actually going to head over to the press and show you how they work using our Hotronix Fusion. All right, so this is the Fusion IQ. The first thing we have set up right now is our laser alignment system. So you can actually see this guide that's placed out on the platen. So it's made to look just like a shirt, so you can see that the collar is right here. All right, and this really helps for alignment more than anything. Right, so this lays right on your platen. The collar is meant to drop off right to the side. And then there are lines up here where you are able to adjust the lasers so that they're pointing down. So we have number 1 as our center line, and then we have a top front, and then a top back. So if I'm doing the back side of my t-shirt, all of that is lined up for me. So I know exactly where my lasers are meant to point before I load on my garment and get ready to heat apply. I would say the most utilized for this, all of them really if you're just getting started, but left chest logo is a really hard one to do, especially if you get into zip ups, polos, anything that's gonna get right in the way of making that placement and aligning that accurately. Right, so this is very, very helpful when doing that. Right, so the laser alignment system is available on our website as well, and that's something that I highly recommend using just to be able to get used to where placements go and how everything is meant to be aligned. All right, now I'm going to show you another accessory known as a interchangeable platen. So if you're not familiar with the Hotronix heat presses, they have the ability to interchange their platen. So this is the Fusion IQ. It's a swing away and a draw, and I have the ability to pop out these bottom platens so that I can swap in a different size. So there is a quick latch system right underneath this platen that I just pull out, and I can lift this up, and now I can change in a different size. All right, the first placement that I'm going to do is the sleeve. So we'll drop that in. and load on our garment. Right, so the way that I'm going to be loading this on is the top or the shoulder seam first, so that I can just thread that. All right, now I have everything out of the way that I need to in order to get a nice placement. All right, so whenever I'm lining this up, I always go center of where my seam is, and I drop down probably about 4 fingers from there so I know I'm right on the arm. All right, the top part of the arm. All right, now I'm going to grab a cover sheet. All right, this transfer that I'm using is known as our CAD Prints Twill, and it's actually sublimated to get its color. All right, so it's very vibrant and shows up nice on a garment. So whenever I place that down, I want to make sure I'm using a cover sheet so that ink isn't transferring to my upper heating element. And this is going to apply for 25 seconds, so I'm going to increase my time there. And also increase my pressure. Right. I always recommend to get into the habit of using a cover sheet no matter what you're applying, because you just never know what could have transferred up to your heating element, whether it was from a sublimated garment that you used, adhesive from another transfer. Cover sheets are always going to save you. So if you could just get in a habit of using it every time, unless you're recommended otherwise to use something else or not use one at all, just always having one there so you're getting in the habit of using it. Right, so now it's completely done applying, right? So, and you can actually see that this completely transferred over to this. So when I go to apply my next application, this craft paper is an easy throwaway, so I can just toss that, and now I don't have to worry about anything transferring onto my other placement, right? So now I have a sleeve placement applied. All right, if I was using heat transfer vinyl or even a screen print transfer, I could print all the way down the arm because I have the ability to thread this on completely. All right, we do offer another platen known as the double legged sleeve. So if you do have an entire job where you're printing multiple sleeves for it, you can load on 2 at one time so that you're able to do 2 with every press. All right. If you don't have a Hotronix or a heat press that allows you to do interchangeable platens, then it's time to consider other accessories. All right, those accessories consist of heat printing pillows and heat printing pads. All right, so these allow you to print really unique items of a garment and also isolate that area whenever you don't have an interchangeable platen. So I'm actually gonna pop on my 16 by 20 again and thread on the garment as if I was doing a full front placement. All right, so my anorak is all zipped up, so I'm just gonna thread this on how I normally would a t-shirt. All right, so you can see if I was going to apply here, this zipper is going to get in the way of an accurate application. So if I were to swing this over, what my heat press would be hitting is this zipper before any other area of this garment. Even some of these thick seams from the pockets down here. So these pillows are going to help, or even the pads too, these 2 accessories are going to help to isolate the certain area of the garment that you want to be able to heat apply. All right, so if we're doing the standard left chest logo, I'm going to pop in this pad right in that area. So now I'm isolating this area, and now I don't have to worry about this zipper hitting that upper heating element and causing an uneven pressure. All right, so the goal with every garment in any unique area that you want to print is to be able to get a nice even pressure. And that's what these accessories are doing, allowing us to print certain areas even though it can be hard to print with buttons and seams and zippers, of course. So we're going to cover this with a cover sheet and heat apply. And I'm also going to be testing my pressure. So anytime I'm adding in an additional accessory, I want to make sure that my pressure is accurate. So that's actually going to increase my pressure because I added more dimension under there. So it's going to change that a little bit. So I'm going to pull back on my pressure there and bring this back down so it gets the full application. I forgot to swap over to my 25 seconds there. right? But all of those application instructions come anytime you order a transfer. So whenever you're ordering your transfer, always pay close attention to your time, temperature, and pressure instructions and what accessories you're utilizing to get that pressure. So our pressure readout always pops up right here on our Fusion IQ, or if you're working with an autoclam, it'll have a pressure readout there as well. So our goal is to get that even pressure without any accessories of the garments getting in the way. All right, so I was able to apply that nicely without the zipper or anything getting in the way there. All right, so 2 really nice placements we were able to achieve on this unique jacket. All right, this jacket, just for anybody wondering, is Independent Trading Company. They do a lot of really nice outerwear for wholesale, all right? So they're found on S&S Activewear unless you're set up with them directly. All right, so
good job.
We covered, thanks. We covered a lot of helpful tools. We covered the heat printing placement guide, the interchangeable platens for your Hotronics machines. If you're not working with those just yet, what accessories you can use, which would be our pillows and heat printing pads. And also the laser alignment and the guide that comes with that so that you can set up the lasers accurately and get the right placement every time. We do have one more helpful tool that Brandy's going to go over with you guys.
Yeah. Another tool for success is going to be the Stahls layout guide. This is great, especially if you are working with jerseys. Particularly basketball jerseys, the last name on the back, it does need to be arced. So that's always a challenge. So if you're not getting it in like pre-spaced text from our services department and you are going to make these names in the free floating letters, the Stahls layout guide is a great tool. It is sticky on the back, so you can place it on your work surface and it's you're confident that it won't be moving. And here are the different angles that you have and, of course, your different sizing with your inches. So depending on what you're doing and what angle you need to have, you would go ahead and just place them. So let's go ahead and work with the 15% angle. And the nice thing is it's inexpensive. And it's just a great tool. You get this guide, and then you also get the masking that I'm about to apply.
Here you go.
Thank you. There we go. So we're just going to go ahead and apply our masking that comes with the layout guide. Here we go. And this is a squeegee, which is about $2. It's a great tool, and then we're ready to go. So we go ahead and just lift this off, and we walk it over to our heat press and apply it, or you can go ahead and just put it back onto the backing and keep rolling with your letters.
Yeah, so if I had to do
simple.
like 20 of these, I would be able to do 7 at a time, right? Because it comes with 7 masking strips, or you can buy more masking strips,
Yeah,
right?
you can buy more masking strips.
I'm sorry, 5.
Yeah,
I said 7. You can reuse the mask that comes with it 7 times, but you do get 5 mask strips with the purchase of the lettering layout guide, so you can get started. I know some customers, I know some customers will actually keep a roll of masking and just trim it as they need it, because they're doing a lot of pre-cuts and they don't want to have to reorder 5 at a time, so they can just trim that masking. So that's a good...
The masking, if you do want to go with the roll, which would be more cost effective, it is in our digital section of our products. And it's just called Magic Mask.
Yeah. All right, so I see some questions coming in. Do you sell the laser alignment wizard by itself? Yes, you can purchase it. And actually, the guide just comes with the purchase of the laser alignment system. So you get both with the purchase of one. Some other questions.
There was another question about the craft paper, if it was on a roll. We don't sell the craft paper by the roll. We sell it in packs of 25, and I don't know how much it is offhand. It's less than $20. $12, I think, $12.50.
Yeah, it's either
paper.
$10.50 or $12.50, right around there, ballpark. But yeah, you get a pack of 25, and like I said, easy throwaways. If you get something that transfers over like sublimation or adhesive, I will say they do last very long though. So if that doesn't happen, you don't have to throw away with every use. It's just if something were to happen to transfer to it.
Right.
Yeah. And will the sleeve platen, scroll back up for me. Will the sleeve platen work on the auto clam? So good question. It's not that it doesn't work on it. It is compatible, but you have to be, you have to keep in mind of how big the area of the garment you're applying is. So if you want to do sweatpants, then yeah, that would be great because those are more of a loose fitting garment. All right, so we don't always recommend the 6x20 leg and sleeve for the auto clam because the footprint is just a little bit too large to load maybe leggings on there or thin sleeves. But we do work with the double leg and sleeve platen that is compatible with the auto clam, so you can utilize that for it if you do want to isolate smaller areas such as joggers and things like that. Right. Another question Laura asked, I've been decorating more shorts and I sometimes struggle with placement, especially the longer athletic shorts. Any tips? Were shorts in that placement guide?
You know what? I don't think so. So that's another maybe thing to look at to add. Let me just go through it real quick.
So if it's not in there, what I would recommend is following the dimensions and placement that we recommend for these types of placements, that low hemline. So if you are doing the bottom portion of the shorts, I would follow these dimensions and placement because it's going to follow that very similarly. That's what I do at least anyways. Whenever I'm doing like running shorts for a class or something, I follow the dimensions for that. And then if you're going to do more of the hip placement of the shorts, follow the left chest logo type of placement. So just kind of keep in mind what other garment can I swap out for this when I'm trying to figure out placement and dimensions, right? And all right, so that covers everything that we wanted to talk about today. So lots of tips and tricks out there, a lot of tools that you can utilize so that you make sure you're getting the right placement and the right dimensions for everything that you do.
And regulation.
Right.
I don't think we mentioned that the regulation, some of the regulations for decorating the uniforms are also in there too. So it's a great reference, a quick reference for you guys.
All right, so let's share the Bitly link so that you guys can get this transfer for the t-shirt so that you can create this. So our Bitly link is there. It's FB-logo-here. Right, so you can download this transfer and utilize it on a t-shirt. Right now, those are the only transfers that we offer are for the t-shirt, but we will be soon coming out with one for jackets, sweatpants, and other types of placements.
Maybe we should do the shorts.
Yeah, and the racer back tank.
Yes.
All right, there is a QR code there as well. If you guys wanted to scan that on your phone, the link will pop right up for an easier way to download that transfer. All right, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to comment those in. Other than that, we will see you Thursday for Josh's live class on heat printing hacks. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for joining.